Hi everybody, Emma Murphy here, disordered eating specialist, psychotherapist and trainer in the area of emotional eating and binge eating disorder. And this series of videos is designed to help qualified health professionals who want some more tools and resources to be able to effectively support clients who disclose emotional eating and binge eating disorder. Now I'm going to be using a couple of props while I go through these videos. The 4 Energies of Emotional Eating card deck is a card deck I developed out of our Eating Freely program. So they're very helpful if you do ever want to get those for yourself. But actually what you can do is download the free ebook, which is available in the description below. And in the book, you will find every card and the descriptor on the back of the card, and then a deeper meaning, and then you'll find reflective questions and actions that you can share with your clients. So that is completely free for all practitioners who are watching these videos. Please feel free to just download it from the link below. So without any further ado, let's get started on today's lesson. So today's lesson is about how emotional eating and binge eating is actually punishing for clients as opposed to being nourishing. And we use this phrase nourish versus punish a lot with clients because actually in the moment they think that they are nourishing themselves, they are self-regulating, they're self-soothing, it's comfort eating, literally. But actually they are very often punishing themselves by both how they're eating, what they're not eating, and also how they're talking to themselves in their minds. And we also want to let them understand how much of a ripple effect, long-standing emotional eating and binge eating disorder has on other areas of their lives as well. So we're asking them to ask themselves this question: is this decision I am making to either eat or not eat at this particular moment in time going to nourish me or punish me? And that's as much from an emotional perspective as it is from a nutritional perspective. So as you can see on the card, it says that, clients have been on a lot of diets and they've tried everything, and they really have. They come in and they tell us that they've been to Weight Watchers and Slimming World, and they've tried low GI and paleo and clean and keto and Whole30 and, intermittent fasting, and you name it, they have tried it. But of course, dieting has never been the answer. And in fact, one of the biggest triggers for emotional eating and binge eating for our clients is hunger. So that is why we are trying to take them away from calorie counting, restriction, dieting, etc., and just asking them to check in with themselves. If I choose to eat, whether that's a normal, regular eating, a normal meal, or whether it's emotional eating or binge eating, if I choose to eat at this moment in time, or if I choose to not eat at this moment in time. So again, a decision to just, okay, I don't want that. I don't want to eat it. And are they restricting or depriving themselves? I can't eat that. That's on my forbidden foods list. That's going to push me over my calorie intake for the day. So instead of all of those questions and weighing up literally the pros and cons of eating this food or not eating this food, we want them to check in at that deeper level and ask themselves, is this going to nourish me or punish me if I either eat this food or if I don't eat this food? And that's a very powerful question to give clients. Now, let's dig a little deeper. So how do we explore this with clients and go a little bit deeper in terms of what they're actually doing and what is actually nourishing and what is actually punishing for them? Well, in your book, you will be able to see how this is done, but really there are a few different ways that we would look at this with clients. First of all, are they actually nourishing or punishing themselves with the food? So first of all, if a client is emotional eating or binge eating, they might feel that it is nourishing in the moment. They are eating in response to high stress or distress. They know that by eating high sugar, high fat, high salt foods, they are going to experience that dopamine release in their brain, which will counteract the cortisol and temporarily calm them down. However, and that's the instant gratification piece. However, the delayed gratification is not emotional eating or binge eating, because the client is going to feel better about themselves when they go to bed that evening. They're going to sleep better and they're going to feel better when they wake up in the morning. So the client being able to make that decision, is it really nourishing for me to do this, or is it actually punishing? The client might also be punishing themselves on a physical level, because they know if they really overeat and they really go for it, they're going to actually feel physically uncomfortable. They're going to feel bloated. They're going to feel sick. It can affect their stomach. They can have gut issues. They could have, diarrhea, constipation, flatulence, all of these things. And they know gut pain. They know what impact it's going to have on them. But again, in the moment, that may not be top of mind, but when you're actually asking yourself a question, is this nourishing or punishing? You're helping remind the client of what the potential consequences are going to be. It's important to understand that, because the brain never thinks of the consequences when it is trying to trigger the client to eat. It's only ever thinking of the very quick, immediate reward, not the consequences that come later. So that's one of the functions of this question, is to be that habit interruption, that autopilot interruption strategy, and to stop and cause conflict in the brain, where the brain has to actually think about whether it wants to do this or not. Okay, so the other thing about eating or not eating, so obviously whether the client is overeating and punishing themselves that way, or not eating, undereating, restricting, dieting, sticking to 900 or 1200 calories or whatever it is, not literally not eating enough. And of course, hunger is a key trigger for binge eating as well. The other side of it is that it's the emotional piece. So again, the client punishing themselves at that voice in their head, why did you do that? You're such a fat cow, and I can't believe you can't keep away from the chocolate, and blah 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 blah, whatever it is. You're never going to meet anybody, you're never going to be able to have a family, and you might as well whatever. So the other side of it, not just punishment for themselves, but punishing themselves in a way by maybe not going to social situations, not going to family events, not going to any outing where food is going to be involved, where people are planning on going to a restaurant, or, the habit is that they go to the cinema and they have food at the cinema, of course, or they go to a gig and then they go out for a meal afterwards, or they have a meal before they go to the gig, or whatever it is. So the client may be punishing themselves in other ways, that I can't go out, I can't have fun, I can't join in my friends because I can't trust myself, or I can never handle it when there's food in the arrangements, or I'm always, people are looking at me and thinking that I'm a fat cow and I don't deserve to eat, or whatever it is. And then you have situations where the client might be in an environment where there's food. So, for example, I regularly use the example of somebody having a birthday in work, and everybody's in the staff room on the coffee break, and cakes or buns are brought out for somebody's birthday, and our client is saying to themselves, I can't have any cake, I can't have a bun, I have to hit my target weight, and I'm going to stand over here and have a rice cake while everybody else is over there enjoying the cake. And that is, of course, punishing. Now, the client could choose not to have the cake. They mightn't like that particular type of cake, they might like fudge cake, and then they can say, no, I don't want it. But they could be standing there, and depriving themselves of cake, where they could actually choose to have a small amount of cake, eat it, enjoy it, savour it, and then leave it and go on with their day. And that's another piece of the work that we try and do with clients, where a small amount of cake or 2 biscuits can be nourishing and you're joining in and you're being part of the gang, where 2 slices of cake, 2 cakes, 2 slices of cake and then a takeaway at lunchtime is punishing. So again, just trying to bring the client into that place of moderation, which is actually quite difficult for our clients, because they do tend to be quite all or nothing thinkers. They're either doing it all right or all wrong, and that can be one of their biggest saboteurs as well. So then, to explore this a little bit further with the client, you've got some reflective questions. So question 1, does how I eat when I deprive myself of food nourish me or punish me? So, if I'm constantly depriving myself on a diet, sticking to a low number of calories, only allowing myself, salad and vegetables and, lean protein, and I'm not having any fun food, I'm not having any salt or any sugar, or any fat foods, am I actually nourishing or punishing myself? Second question, do I have strict food rules that are punishing? So many clients, so many food rules, head is just full of them. So we really, what we're trying to do is do a big clear out of all the food rules and, really start again from scratch. And then the third question, do I punish myself when I break my food rules? And do my rules need to be revised and updated? So again, clients often punishing themselves after they break their food rules, whether it's the negative critical voice, or whether it's, well, I've had a muffin now, I might as well go for it. And then they eat way past the point of fullness, and then they feel all those physical symptoms, and then they're beating themselves up when they go to bed, have a crap night's sleep, wake up the next morning and feel terrible about themselves. So the actions that the client can take then are, of course, at every point of decision, to ask themselves, is this decision I'm making to either eat or not eat at this particular moment in time going to nourish me or punish me? That is the key action that you want them to take away from this card. Now, it can be very hard for clients to remember to do that, to ask that question. So one of the things that we suggest, it's the second action in the book, is for them to take a photograph of this card and put it as their screensaver on their phone, whether it's their lock screen or their normal screen, just to remind them to ask themselves the nourish versus punish question. So it doesn't say anything about anything on it. It could just be a nice picture on their screen. No one's going to comment or pass any remark on it. And it's just to remind them to ask themselves that question. Am I going to nourish or punish myself with this decision I'm making to either eat or not eat right now? Okay, so that's that. All right, I hope you found this helpful. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. And please feel free to comment below or to send me a message about any topic you would like me to cover on this channel. My email address is emma@eatingfreely.com, and I'm always very helpful to hear from anybody. And please, again, don't forget to download your free copy of the ebook so that you have the full resource of the cards as conversation starters or prompts for work that you can do with clients just by using that free ebook. And you're welcome to have that with our compliments. But for now, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.